Hi, I'm Dave.
I'm Steve.
And we're from Modwheel, and today we're going to show you our newest instrument, the Bass Banjo.
The Bass Banjo, which includes the Bang-On Sidekick Drum Chum.
Right. I'll load it.
Yeah. I need to bring up a patch.
Now, before we go any further, I'm just going to show you. There is the real instrument there, just so you get some idea of what this is. And it was originally built for sort of playing in a marching band. It's got a beautiful resonant tone. And
I thought it was worthy of a sample library.
Worthy of a sample library. Now everyone can enjoy the great sound of Bass Banjo.
Yeah. So back to the GUI. What do we hear?
Beautiful. Now, actually just keep playing that, Steve, and the first thing you'll notice is we've got these pink key switches up here, and they are the articulations, and at the moment it's playing the sustain articulation, and you can change these by clicking there and staccato, or you can change them down here. Here's the mute one, and then there's two that are chopstick, a chopstick hit and a chopstick kind of stutter, so let's hear them. And the black here shows you which articulation you are currently on. Now it's interesting, Steve, because there's some green key switches down here. Maybe you'd like to explain what those are.
Sure. The green key switches are momentary key switches, and they initiate a pitch change, like a slide up or a slide down. So the G will go a slide up, the A will be a slide down. So it's quite just performance key switches, really.
Now, also, the Bass Banjo is obviously a great sort of bass instrument, and so there's a switch here that says oomph, and it will add a tightness to the bottom end if you're playing the Bass Banjo as kind of a bass line. So I'll switch, actually play something and I'll switch it on. And there it is on. It just gives it real good solid bottom end to it, which you get the choice of having or not. Now, also up here is note off. And that is just a little bit of the finger noise and things that would happen on an instrument, and you can have that for realism. But you might also want to take that right out, because if you see in the name up here, it says MW slap, which means a slap has been assigned to the mod wheel. And let's hear what that's doing, Steve. Those sort of slap bass lines, you can good for that. Oh, that's very nice, Steve. You're grooving.
Yeah.
Okay, then we have we've of course got a reverb. It's such a resonant instrument. I think judicious usage of the reverb.
Yeah.
And we've got a heat switch for a bit of heat.
That
wasn't bad.
Was it? Was it all right?
Well, for you, it was quite good. And there's the heat. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's turn that off. So, also, you get an arpeggiator switch and an arpeggiator tab. So let's just check that out. That's quite good with the slap bass. So let's just hear, if you just play this now.
Okay.
And if you bring the slap in. Now what's interesting here, Steve, is this duration knob here can play quite a big role in how that slap sits with the feel, whether it pushes or sits back. So if I take it, so it's pushing a bit harder now.
Yeah, sure.
Or I can make it.
Yeah. So what the duration knob does is it lengthens the on note. It sets the length of the duration of the on note, but plus it actually will be the trigger for the slap as well. So yeah, depending on what the tempo of your piece is or the rate.
So let's change the rate and hear what that would do. So if we take this down to 16ths, let's hear that. It's quite nice. But if I take that down, it's starting to play, or if I take it right down.
If you take it right down, it sort of happens simultaneously with the on note, which is kind of cool. The other thing which is nice with the arpeggiator is the mute.
The mute?
The mute articulation. Yeah.
Oh, let's go there and hear that. Well, in fact, I could stay on that arpeggiator and just do it down here, I guess.
Yes, you could.
And where do you want your ratio? Oh, that's nice. What happens if I take this up?
Sounds like shit.
That sounds good. That's great. Now, look, keep playing that, please. Now, there's 8 steps here in our pattern, but I can take that up to 32. And you can rearrange this pattern any way you want. You can just draw these in. I want a big swell at the end.
The steps, they're the velocities that each steps are playing, obviously.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know.
Okay, we'll take that back down to 8 just for we won't do anything actually, we'll just get out of there. Anyway, that's that. And then there's an info tab which tells you what everything's doing and what we've just told you, so you don't have to listen to this, you can just read all this information and admire the wonder of the bass banjo.
All right.
So
that's a basic instrument.
Yeah. We'll just wait for that aeroplane to go by.
Yeah, we should never have built the studio on the airport.
Well, it was cheap. How are we to know it was going to affect? Okay, so when you have downloaded and installed the Bass Banjo plus the Bang-On Sidekick, you will get these 9 patches. And so the first one is that basic banjo with all that choice. You get the same thing again in a soprano version.
Yeah.
So
which is sort of weird, but it sounds good.
Which is more like your... with all the same... That's a thing of great beauty.
It is.
This is good with the arpeggiator, I think. Let's hear that. Oh, delicate. Bit of reverb. And we're in nostalgia land. Bit of oomph. Bit of heat.
What about the oomph? The oomph actually behaves slightly differently on this one.
I'll take the arp off this and let's just hear what's there.
It adds an octave lower.
Why is that, Steve?
Just because we liked it.
Yes, we did. It seemed good, so we're going with it. That's the good thing about when you make these instruments. You can do what you want. And you guys get the benefits.
You lucky devils.
Yep. Okay, let's move on. That's enough on that. So that's your basic instrument. You get a bass banjo and you get the soprano version of it. And now we head into the Bang-On Sidekick Drum Chum section of the bass banjo. And that is because the bass banjo is built on a drum and a whole bunch of other percussive type things such as metal strings and wood and hittable things. We've given you a big body of percussive stuff, and as you can see on this patch number 3, Sidekick 1, we've got these green key switches and yellow key switches, and maybe you'd like to fill us in on those, Steve.
Well, they are pre-programmed drum fills which utilise all the sound, all the blue sounds, all the blue keys, just the individual sounds using the Kontakt
They get higher as you go up the keyboard.
drum computer. We've pre-programmed some feels for your delight.
Now the thing with these is you can play a green one and a yellow one together. Steve's going to show you.
Yeah.
Nice. Now what's the Modwheel do, Steve?
The Modwheel is control sustain, so if you turn the Modwheel on, it actually tightens up the sound.
Keep playing. You can hear it's quite a lot of good bottom end in there, but you wouldn't necessarily always want that. So this cut-off switch knob here to cut down on that. You might want to add your own bass drum or do something. Just have this as a percussive feel. I like it like that.
Yeah, very
and
nice.
You get a phaser as well, actually, on these. Give us a feel. And a heat. Okay, and then moving right along, you get a second lot because of the generous nature of Team at Modwheel. And these are a whole different sample set and different patterns, so maybe you could just demonstrate something. Well, see, this would be good with the cut-off, because you could just use that as a really nice percussive, or not.
Pretty nice without it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And this has got more of these, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Weird slides up the strings and effects. So a pretty idiosyncratic library of drum and percussive sounds there will improve any music.
At all.
All music would be improved.
By having the Bass Banjo plus the Bang-On Sidekick Drum Chum.
Patch 5. Patch 5 is more percussive stuff, but now played as a softer version with hands and using the drum skin and sensitive. A lot more sensitive.
It is, for example. And again. You can add the green and yellow.
Or you can add phaser. Okay, and then we get two of these patches, and these are your standard sort of arpeggiator thing. So it's got quite a spacious pattern at the start of this one. If you want it, you can of course change that. And you get a second arpeggiator one on the hand hit sample set. Different pattern here. That's nice. So you can get sort of percussion feels using these beautiful, interesting, organic sounds that you can
have fun with.
So there you have it. That's the end of the Bang-On Sidekick Drum Chum section of the Bass Banjo. So where are we heading next, Steve?
To the synth section. We start off with the Bangelis.
The Bangelis.
Of course.
Now, as you can see, it's taking a little time to load because it's using the tone function of
you need to let it fully load before you play it, otherwise it won't work.
It's also nice with these octaves up a bit. Let's take those up and find out. And the Modwheel is changing the tone of the instrument.
Quite good with a bit of delay as well.
Okay, I'll go and put a bit of delay on. It is nice with a bit of delay. Might put a bit of reverb as well.
Oh, now we're talking.
Very nice. And you get two synths with this, and the second one, the
Jam Jarre.
The Jam Jarre. Again, a tribute patch. To Mr. Jam.
So that's the Bass Banjo, basically, in all its glory.
Well, that sounds a suitable thing to go out on. So thanks for watching and listening, and we hope you like the Bass Banjo plus the Bang-On Sidekick Drum Chum, as well as the Bangelis and the Jam Jarre synthesizer section. Plenty there to be going on with. I'm Dave.
And I'm Steve. And I'm busy.
Yeah. Well, not as busy as Janet, who isn't even here to say goodbye because she's actually doing some work in the other room, actually making music. So that's us from the Modwheel team. Thank you.
Goodbye.